organization together. Say something about that.
Yes, sir. I believe that I have what is necessary to be a leader, a strong leader in the Nashville branch in NAACP. I have worked tirelessly for the last 5 years. I have assumed a number of positions in the NAACP. I have exerted energy in trying to get issues out front so that the community as well as the establishment can understand that regardless of what the matter is, it's not about race, it's about right. And there are a number of issues that have confronted the community in the Nashville area that have not been, as Pastor had said, has not really been vented and discussed in our community. So very much so, I believe that I am a strong leader and I can lead the NAACP into a successful year.
Very good. What we'll do now, Dr. PShinault, is to take this second, final commercial break, and we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. When it comes out, nobody will ever be able to tell that you're rattled. You don't look rattled to me.
I can't help it.
No, this might be your first experience.
It is.
And you have to admit that this is an unusual kind of experience and whatnot, but we're making it through, and so we've got 10 minutes.
So what are we going to do?
So what do you want to talk about during the last 10 minutes? See, when we come back, we'll have 10 minutes. Right. And so what you want to talk about, what? Voting? Let's talk about the suffrage.
You want to...
And what you're planning on doing in reference to the suffrage and whatever you wish to talk about. And you started off, and Pastor will help, give you some information in reference to what he has to say. And then,
lay out there, what you want to do is, as
it'll all come together. Okay.
And how you can take this, organization to the next level.
Okay. Yeah, just. Thank you and welcome back to the final segment of the show for today. We're talking to Dr. PShinault from the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and Pastor KWalker, who's also a member of the National Association, and his granddaughter who's with us, and this, I think, is her first television experience, and she'll learn. And I think that what we're trying to do today is to not only empower the community, Dr. PShinault, but to talk about some of the ways, that is the suffrage, how that might be, we might be able to do that. So let's use the last few minutes to talk about voting in the suffrage.
Okay. Voting, as we know, is extremely important in our community. Our visibility, our empowerment, all depends on whether or not we register, get our documents in order, and vote. Voting in Nashville, Tennessee, regardless of whether it is the school board, whether it's Congress, our senators, and our representatives, is extremely important. A number of policies have been passed in our council meetings, in our Senate, that are not beneficial per se to the African American or black community or the community of those who are impoverished. And the only way in which African Americans and other minority groups are going to truly receive social justice is that we vote, that we make an appearance at our council meetings, that we vote, especially in this presidential election. Now, as a branch secretary of the NAACP, we are bipartisan, okay? We cannot actually go on camera or say who our community should vote for. But what I'm asking our community to do is look at the issues, think about the issues, not what people are saying now, but what they've said a month ago, what they've done a year ago, 2 years ago, and vote for your best interest. That is what we are going to push at the NAACP, and it will be a year-around project and program to make sure that we get out and we vote.
You know, Pastor, I think we've said on many occasions on this particular show that in Nashville, I think somebody said at one time that only 6 or 7% of the population actually got out and voted during any election. And so if you can organize people in such a way that you can get 20–25% of the community to participate in the suffrage, you can almost carry every election from that perspective if only such a small number of people actually vote. What do you think about that?
That's very true. I mean, you know, our voice, again, Dr. Haney, is in our vote. You know, we got to be able to get out there. If you bring people together, and see, politicians, they go where people are voting. You know, they service areas. They look at areas where, you know, where they're getting large percentage of the votes. They look at a zip code and they're getting a small percentage of the vote. Then, you know, they're not going to focus their attention on that particular area right there, because they're saying, well, the people out there, they're not concerned about themselves. But on the other hand, if organizations like the NAACP will put together a consistent year-round voting and registration drive, you know, not just waiting until an election come up and then, you know, 2 months before the election, you're out there registering people to vote, but make it an ongoing, consistent thing, keeping it always in the forefront of the people. Then the people will begin to see the value in voting, you know, and that's what we have to do. We have to keep it in front of them. Another thing, that, in addition to all of that, the NAACP, you know, we have to be visible. We have to be vocal. And we have to be valuable, and we got to show up that we have value in this community. You know, I've got a granddaughter right here, you know, that you know, she's got a future, you know, and I'm the one that's got to be looking forward toward her future and making sure that if she has a legitimate grief or gripe concerning something, that injustice that takes place in our society towards her, that she got an organization that she can go to, and that's what the NAACP has had a long-standing reputation as an organization that our people could go to if they were having issues. And let me be clear about this. The NAACP is not just an organization just for African Americans or black people. You know, it's the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, for people of color. Everybody is a color. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, I don't care what race you are, you're a color. You know, so it's for everybody, and everybody can benefit from the work of the NAACP. But the thing we got to get to right now with this local branch of the NAACP is putting some power in it. Because right now, you know, you have people say, well, you got a bark and no bite. This branch don't even have a bark. You know what I'm saying?
So, and so in a real sense, just to sort of make people aware of the history of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, I think that we've had an opportunity to talk to many members from that organization, and you've been responsible in a real sense for bringing a large number of people to us dealing with the National Association. As a matter of fact, Dr. PShinault here is here primarily because of your influence with the organization. And so with Dr. PShinault's leadership and the commitment on the part of others, and I think as she indicated that you want to make registration a year-round activity, not to register only 2 or 3 months before the time of election. And if you can get that as a ingrained idea among people who ought to vote, then I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't want to just lock in steadily just on the vote thing, because there's so many other things, issues that's plaguing our society and stuff. I mean, with the police brutality and all kinds of things, discrimination in housing, all these different things. There's so many different committees within the branch of NAACP that need to be empowered with people that have the concern about what's going on in our community. So I'm saying to people, if you got a concern about what's going on in our community, and you've met and you've met and you've met, and you got all these great ideas and these strategies, but yet you don't have a power source to put them into it and to make it happen, then we're encouraging you to come and be a part of NAACP, because the membership part of the NAACP has a power base within itself, because when that executive committee presents an issue, it has to be ratified, am I correct, by the membership.
Yes.
So we need members, people to join and get behind this thing. And I believe that Dr. PShinault will make the right leader to lead the NAACP's Nashville branch into this next level of growth and development, so it can be actually benefit the people that we serve in this community.
And what I would like to add to that is, for those of you, our life members, our members who have decided in the past that you no longer want to be members of the NAACP, give us another chance. Give the NAACP